Neta, güey, it's a couple years ago ¿qué fue? Cuando la cagaron contra Pumas, ¿verdad? Salió un video viral de una señora que estaba like, estos cabrones no se merecen nuestro soporte, no valen verga, que no se merecen los aficionados, somos los más fieles y estamos la. Y yo estaba, vieja, like, cálmese, like, entiendo, ¿verdad? Pero pues, no está tan mal y dame 3 años y ahí estoy, güey, like, hijos de su puta madre.
No sirve para nada.
It hurts, bro. It hurts.
Yeah.
And like, it's such a short-sighted view of things because if anything, like, los refuerzos fueron madre. Llegaron tarde. By the time that he had a full team to work with, we were already going into Leagues Cup. Porque el registro se tardó un chingos. La visa se tardó también. Hubo un chingos de cosas de principio a fin que la cagaron. Y luego dicen, no. ¿Sabes qué fue, güey? Un pinche... ¿Sabes qué? Lo voy a terminar, no de verga. Pinches chismosos de Televisa, güey. Que estaban de que no, que el Tuca no va a trabajar y que solamente va a 3 entrenamientos y que quién sabe qué. Chinguen a su madre.
I'm playing you off, man.
I know, and that's it. That's it. I want for this beautiful tune to play out because that's my feelings.
It's okay, brother. That's what we're here for. We even started the podcast early so you can get it off your chest. And hey, look, man, you know, Chivas fans, we feel it. We've been through it. You know, we've had our ups and downs, and it is frustrating to watch. You know, the front office just like fuck shit up. And you know, I thought Tuca, you know, he wouldn't take on a project like this if he didn't have full admin control. And you know, I feel like they definitely shafted him. They did the Julius Caesar on in the Et tu, Brute. So, yeah, man. A lot of emotions here in Leagues Cup, bringing out the worst out of Mexico. I think. I know Ron is hot. I don't think he's on the podcast yet, but we hope to see him later on in the show. He was not happy with the officiating today in Nashville against America. I will say, man, these round of 16 matches today were pretty entertaining. Just when things had been written off, it looks like there was like a mini comeback there, especially with Toluca. They were down 2-0 early, in the first half. And in the second half, they came back, scored one, and then Volpi taking a PK to tie the game in the 75th minute and took the game to PKs. And unfortunately, that is where they were eliminated by Minnesota. And on the flip side, America were down 1-0 against Nashville, tied the game up 1-1, and then got a favorable PK call around the 94th minute. Julian Quiñones scored the goal, took off his jersey, celebrated. It looked like it was all said and done. But then Nashville tied it again in the 99th minute and forced the game to PKs. And I'm actually really confused right now because who ended up making it to the next round? Because I saw America celebrating, but it looks like maybe something got overturned. I don't know what the hell's going on.
On the books right now, it looks like it's America.
Oh, okay. Then it's probably Google just messing up then, because I do recall America winning that match in PKs, and then Ron went on this crazy tantrum on Twitter. So yeah, maybe when he comes in, he can clarify what the fuck is going on. There's also, as of we speak right now, Tigres and Monterrey tied at halftime 0-0. In my opinion, that has been the best match of the day. A lot of dynamic play, a lot of this is like one of the first matches I've seen in Leagues Cup where you can see the quality of play. So far, like the defending in Leagues Cup in general has just been atrocious, especially in that Miami game. Like, look, man, there's a big fix for Messi to win this thing, and just don't be so blatantly about it because, Dallas was up 4-2. This game was fucking over. And then in the something minute, they scored an own goal, and it didn't even look like an accident. It looked like he intentionally tried to score in his own net. And then, of course, Messi gets a free kick call, and he puts it away, and they win in PKs. So the Messi dream continues. But, yeah, there's been a lot of questionable calls so far in Leagues Cup. I think.
And let's not forget, el poderosísimo Querétaro moves on to the next round.
Yes, Los Gallos Blancos. They actually are the only Mexican team remaining on the east side of the bracket. And they actually did get through the next round against New England yesterday, again on PKs.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. A lot of PKs, man.
Yeah, a lot of PKs. We have Joel joining us. It looks like Johnny Rico wants to speak as well. So, we're going to get everyone going here in just a sec. Feel free to speak up, Joel or Johnny or both. Welcome.
What's up, everyone? I think you missed the late drama. America are eliminated.
Nah, you're lying.
And I am so fucking pissed right now.
Wait. So what happened?
So Malagon stops the last PK. Everybody starts celebrating. They're jumping with the fans. 10 minutes later, VAR sends a call down to the field that Malagon was slightly off his line.
Are you kidding me?
Wow!
Nope,
I had already turned into the Monterrey Tigres game.
Same.
And now I'm so pissed off I don't even want to watch that game.
Oh shit. I did the same thing. I saw Malagon celebrating with the fans, everyone running on the field. I thought that game was over.
10 minutes later.
No fucking way. No, okay. I can see the tantrum. I can see why everyone's so upset now. Yo, that's fucked up, man. That is really messed up. Damn.
And so we retake that penalty kick. They of course scored it. Then steps up Jonathan Dos Santos and blasts the ball into the crossbar.
Yeah, Johnny Two Saints.
I don't understand the hype. Like, they even made him fucking captain for this game.
I saw him in the starting lineup today, and we had this group chat, and I tagged Ricky, like, hey, Ricky, bro, like, how is this guy still employed? Like, how does Jonathan have a job, man? That guy's a bum. Him and his brother.
He is. And I don't know what Jardine is doing, because also we're down 1-0, and his super sub is Miguel Ayun, who also missed in this shootout.
Oh, my God. Oh, man, that is... I don't think I've ever seen that happen ever in a soccer game where they overturn a call that late.
Yeah.
I feel like there needs to be like a rule, like, hey, like, you have, like, I don't know.
Like, the game's fucking over, dude.
Yeah. Like, you think about in the NFL, right? You have to throw the flag, like, immediately after the play is over. Like, you can't contest that, like, 10 minutes after the game. You can't go back and review the tape. That's nuts, dude. Well, I wonder if they'll get appealed, because there's no way.
That's fucking Leagues Cup for you.
Yeah, this is downright dirty, and I'm wondering, if there's like a conspiracy for this to like happen, just like, I don't know. We need a degenerate gambler up on this podcast so if they can explain the spread and the points and the parlays and all that shit.
I mean, the MLS bootlickers will say that if there was a conspiracy, it'd be for America to make the final.
Oh, I see.
So no one's gonna downright admit it.
Wow.
This feels like that Buffalo Wings commercial. I don't know if you guys seen it. When the game's about to end, so they keep eating wings, and the game keeps getting extended. And someone started eating fucking wings after like 5 minutes, and then the game gets extended. But yeah, after 10 minutes, and I don't really pay much attention, because like during the regular match you get the final whistle. Do you get the same after the penalty kicks?
Yeah, there was a final. Like there's
so dude, that's it. Yeah, if it was that, yeah. I don't like Yeah,
game ender. That's the game ender.
they should. Yeah, America should definitely contest it then.
Yeah, there's no way you can overturn that after that, dude.
Because then it's like who made the call for bar? I mean, so it was obviously not the ref if he ended the thing. And if there's someone else in charge, there's obviously has to be a time limit. You can't take that long to try to overturn something. So yeah, I hope Ame contest it and they can be given the win because.
All right, so I have to ask: Leagues Cup is an official CONCACAF tournament, right?
Yeah, the top 3 teams in Leagues Cup go to CONCACAF Champions League.
Yep.
So then, could this be appealed through CONCACAF or FIFA?
I mean, I don't know. I
mean, we're still gonna get fucked. Like, se chingó, güey. Ya perdiste. Pero no mames, I'm not gonna let you fist fuck me like this.
Dude, this is nuts, man. I can't believe this happened. What the fuck? How does this happen 10 minutes after the game ends, bro? I've never seen match fixing at this level before. You usually see this in Nigeria or in Africa or whatever. You don't see this in the fucking United States MLS blatantly like that. That's just fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you can't appeal from America's standpoint. You don't lose anything if you appeal it, but you think CONCACAF, MLS, or Leagues Cup are gonna admit that they fucked up?
Yeah. Yeah, that is incredible. I have no words. Bro. So that means America's eliminated. So then it's gonna be Nashville versus Minnesota in that game, and then I don't know who the winner of Monterrey Tigres play. That's crazy.
I think the winner of LAFC against Real Salt Lake.
Real Salt Lake, who's also
0-0. You know, thinking about it, I think because America agreed to restart the game.
Yeah.
Then I think that sort of, I wouldn't have. I would have been like, nope.
But did they agree or were they forced?
Yeah.
No, you have to agree, dude.
Or you forfeit. It's either play or forfeit.
That's crazy.
No, I mean you let them.
I would have been actually more. I would have been a little more at ease if we take the forfeit loss. I was like,
damn, güey, con el pinche fusil en la frente.
Yeah, like fuck the Leagues Cup. Just go to the dressing room as if you won because you did win, and let them sort it out.
There's no way, Club America or anyone from Mexico is gonna let this get lived down unless they're in on it too. Unless they're in on the fix, because this is just a poor reflection of how they're treating us.
Yeah.
And at this point, there's no reason to continue to compete in this tournament if that's how they're gonna do it. And if I was the president of Liga MX, I would pull all the teams out right now and say, you guys can suck my dick. We're out, dude. And you guys can just take this L, and you guys can figure out who plays who and lose all this money because you guys fucked us really hard. That's what I would do. If I was the president of Liga MX, I would do that shit right now, dude.
Damn, bro. I've never been upset for Americanistas, and I'm fucking pissed. I'm on that one right now.
That's crazy.
See, and I said it before. It was yo, this is starting to feel a lot like Los Hombres de Pantalones Largos, right? The businessmen that start dealing in soccer and start doing that shady shit in the back rooms. Because the Messi script, how many players, how many Liga MX teams have to play on turf, and the amount of injuries that are happening, and all of this stuff. It's just, what's the point of us? Because when this started, I was excited, bro. I've been a defender of this one, pero no mames.
Oh, I knew from the start it's gonna be a shit show. Spending a whole month on the road in the U.S. Living out of hotels, that's way too much. You're expecting This is what the players go through to go to the World Cup, and you're asking them to go through that for a fucking Leagues Cup.
Wow, this is crazy. Absolute bonkers. Never seen this done in a game ever. And yeah, I would have refused to take the penalty. I would have been like, no, this game's over, bro. You fucking blew the whistle. Everybody celebrated. Like, that's it. You know, you guys have an issue with someone coming off the line. So you guys can fucking argue that after, but we're through. Like, I would have sent everyone to the locker room and just said, yeah, this game's over. That's crazy. Well, that means that there will only be 2 Liga MX teams remaining in this tournament after tonight.
Super Querétaro and 1 Regio.
Yep.
Put your money on Querétaro, boys. I bet that payout is wild.
I want to see that game. That game's going to be fun. Querétaro versus Miami. That'd be dope, man.
Yo, I was already inching for Querétaro America final.
Nah.
Look, man, as long as it's Liga MX against Liga MX, we win.
Yo,
Y lo demás me vale verga.
That would have been such a big fuck you to the entire MLS to have a Querétaro America final.
Ugh.
Yeah, and on U.S. soil, too.
I mean, we can still have it with whatever Regio against Querétaro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Wow, boys, that is some breaking news for sure. Rayados Tigres, I will say, welcome Sergio Canales to Liga MX. He's been looking good. 45 minutes that he played, this dude's, you could tell he's got the vision. He's setting up some great passes, and Rayados should be up 1-0 right now, but never count out Tigres. That's one thing I can say as a Chivas fan.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about this rumor that has been picking up steam about Jimmy Lozano remaining as the coach for the national team for 2026?
And beyond.
Because
that's the whole thing. Whoever gets hired, the whole thing is it's 2026 and beyond, as long as they hit the benchmarks.
Wasn't there going to be a big announcement from FMF first?
I like it. I think whoever takes over in the Mexican national team, like, not necessarily has to be a Mexican, but somebody that knows the Mexican player, knows the Mexican league, knows that tactics are not the most important thing, but rather confidence building and group building, and just like haciendo buen vestidor is like the absolute key to having a good Mexican squad. And I think Jimmy Lozano gets that. He's put a good group together. They all get along, and I think as long as you have that at the center, Mexico's going to be successful.
Yeah, I know that when Jimmy got his first defeat against Qatar, everybody was pissed off, and they're like, "Oh, this guy needs to go." And then Jimmy ends up winning the Gold Cup, and everything's good. Everything's back on track. And we really hadn't heard any rumors after the Gold Cup of like who might take over. We heard Nacho Ambriz, and then Nacho Ambriz gave Jimmy his blessing, and then I did hear about another rumor about Conte being thrown out there. But at this point, man, the players love Jimmy. Just give him the fucking the reins. It's fine.
I'm still wondering about this FMF committee that we're supposed to get, right? Who was it that came out and gave the big speech, and they said we'll be making an announcement soon?
It's like the bald guy.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be like soon, like in 3 days, and it's been like what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks now.
The Juan Carlos, was it Rodriguez? I think his name is. Are you talking about that guy?
Yeah, I think it was him. It was a while, and I didn't even get to hear all of it. I just remember that the main thing was we're making an announcement soon about.
They talked about the pillars.
Yeah, that bald guy, he's the new FMF president, Juan Carlos Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting his name.
Yeah, Juan Carlos
So,
Rodriguez.
But I know there's a few things expected. One of them being, I think, a new jersey for Mexico, and then I think they were going to talk about the supposed committee of experts, and then I think if they did do that, then they would announce the coach.
Yeah, from what I remember, they were just talking about
the way it's being structured.
yeah, the way it's being structured, how they're gonna have some like training sessions or training facilities for Mexico here in the States. And
yeah. There's centros de alto rendimiento in USA.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the ones that definitely did a cock tease, I believe it was Adidas that was posted about an announcement coming soon.
Adidas?
Mm-hmm.
Like specifically for Mexico, like kits?
Yeah, Jersey, New Jersey.
Yeah,
and I think
there's more stuff.
And possible extension, right? Possible contract.
I see.
Extension.
Yeah, well, that part has already leaked.
Oh.
I believe that the extension has already happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of Adidas, but if they give us a lot of money, but then again, it's like it's not a club, so it doesn't really matter. Like when
but they're saying it's a record deal for Max.
Yeah, but like unlike a club, right? Like a club like Manchester United got like $1 billion deal with Adidas. Like that money's gonna go into like transfers and you know stuff like that. But in the national team, where does that money go to? It's not like we can.
Where you think this training center in the U.S. What money do you think it's getting built with?
I don't know, dude.
Well, no. Hold on.
Under FMF bed.
La Bomba said we aren't building new centers. These centers are already existing. Yeah, we are renting these centers.
Yeah, that was the whole point. Is like instead of buying them or building them in Mexico, we're just gonna use the existing ones that are in the States because they're like world class or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The Matias Almeida Training Center in Houston. He has
there's weird power shifts in Mexico because the fact that Juan Carlos Rodriguez is now the president, that to me is Televisa taking back control from Iraragorri and Jesus Martinez, because Juan Carlos Rodriguez was the CEO of TUDN in Miami.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, so I know this. I know this because back in 2018, when San Diego had that MLS to San Diego bid on the ballot, Juan Carlos Rodriguez, he was still CEO of Univision Deportes, and he was going to be one of the investors in the San Diego team.
Oh, interesting.
And so that connection back then between Univision and MLS, that just told me that MLS was desperate for San Diego.
Yeah.
But now that he's FMF president and he's coming from Univision, that to me that's Televisa taking back control of Mexican soccer.
Interesting. Iraragorri was with what group or what?
Well, he tried to build his own empire.
Oh, okay. But he wasn't tied with like any telecommunication company?
No.
Just
his own little empire. He bought multiple teams across multiple divisions and tried to kind of center power around himself. The problem is that so did Pachuca, so did Jesus Martinez, and they kind of fought each other, and Televisa was like, no, we got to step back in.
Oh, I see. Wow. All this shit, man, that you don't really pay attention to.
Yeah, it was interesting because it was done kind of low key because you had Lisa stepping down, which I don't think was.
Well, you sound you don't sound the best, man.
Oh man! All right.
There you go. Sound a little bit better now.
It's better now. The World Cup, I think the plan was to keep De Luisa on board, and he ends up stepping down right around the time that, remember, they announced a different group that was like in charge of the national team with Iraragorri and Amauri and one of the Tijuana guys. I forget his name. It was like 4 or 5 guys, and then we didn't really hear about them. And that's around the time when you heard everyone was, around the time of the appointment of Coca, and no one was really backing him up. And then when the results weren't going the way, still no one would step up in the plate for Coca. And at that point, like, right, shit must be divided if it's to that point where you're not backing up your candidate. And then, Yon De Luisa had stepped down. And right when the shit hits the fan, this guy, dude, I forgot his name again. Who was it, Rodriguez? Or what?
Yeah.
Juan Carlos.
Juan Carlos. Yeah, once Juan Carlos comes in, he pretty much kind of just like the committee that had been formed, because they weren't even part of any decision that he made. And so at that point, you knew that that group was gone.
The Coca coming out of Atlas, that you can tell that was all Iraragorri.
Yeah,
trying to put him at the selección and having his people at the front, but that he lost that power struggle.
And to pour salt on an open wound, Abdias, there's a rumor that Coca might coach Cruz Azul.
He's not a bad coach, though, so I wouldn't.
No mames, güey. No empieces. Es de la verga. All right, give me Hugo Santos
like
instead.
He sucks, dude. Even his results he just had that one bad game against the U.S., which I still contest the players through that match.
It's more about the style of play. His style of play is shit. All right. He is defensive with no attack.
But if he gets a doblete for Cruz Azul, would you care?
Oof. You know what? I would, because I'd still be salty of like, you fucking fired El Tuca Ferretti por esas mamadas. All right, do you understand
really, you'll be like, these 2 campeonatos don't count.
I don't think Coca will do that, Cruz Azul.
There's way more heartbreak on this side of the line than un bicampeonato. Like, no mames, güey. Like,
I don't know how Coca will.
It's the short-sightedness. It's the short-sightedness that gets me.
I don't know if you can get a job after getting fired from the national team, man. I like in Mexico, I mean, it's like, how do you, it's like you get laughed out of the business after what he did.
Yep.
Wait, what did he do? He lost one game where the players had to blame at that point.
He was Tata Martino 2.0.
Mexico has very short memory. I'm sure Bravos, Mazatlan, somebody's going to be desperate for a coach.
Man, he's not a bad coach, though.
No, he's not.
I mean,
would you take him at Chivas?
To make Atlas be campeón, that says a lot.
Would you take him at Chivas?
Hell
not right now, because there's Paunoli, but
and
down the road, yes, he is.
Wait, so then, would Coca be an upgrade or a downgrade?
Right now? I would say downgrade.
No,
because it changes. You never know what.
Joel, just talk like quality-wise, I agree. Coca is a good manager, but how could you take in a manager that made your rivals Atlas bicampeón? Like that to me is the sticking.
Oh, but that's a deal, just saying if I would take him, but
yeah, like no.
And you said it too with the short. There's also the short memory, Johnny. So in 3 or 4 years, no one's gonna remember.
I don't know. I feel like when you coach the Mexican national team, I mean, who has had a successful career after that? Like you look.
Miguel Mejia Barón had a pretty successful career afterwards.
Yeah, I mean you're going way, way back. I'm talking about like, in the last 30 years. You know, you look at Ositos Mesa. Did he have any titles?
Eventually, yeah. Well, it took Ojitos Mesa's a while. It did take Mesa a long time to bounce back, but at the same time, his record with Toluca, it had been insane, dude.
What he did at Toluca was amazing.
So to try to replicate that was always going to be hard. So I think that was also hurting him, where you're kind of expected to redo that. I was like, you can't bring that magic through this. And he was the coach too, right?
Like you look at Sven-Goran Eriksson, you look at Hugo Sanchez, you look at Osorio.
Hugo Sanchez did good. I mean, he went to and he coached in Spain.
He hasn't coached in 20 years or 10 years, man.
Well, because he don't have to. They don't care. But he
oh no, Hugo cares. Hugo fucking cares. Okay, Hugo asks every season to be coach of Real Madrid. Hugo asks every time to be coach of La Selección. Hugo won't shut the fuck up about being a coach.
Yeah, dude, this guy's been inactive for like 10 years and gets offended when nobody calls him up to get a job, dude. It's like, are you kidding me, bro? What fucking planet do you live on?
Tata Martino went from coaching Antuna to coaching Messi.
Yeah, that's an upgrade. Barely an upgrade, but it's an upgrade.
But come on, I mean, who's coaching in La Liga? 2 teams. It's not like he got buried. I think Liga MX is a bit different, just because I think there's, he seems to be 86 from there, but
yeah, Tata's no longer welcome in Mexico. I'm telling you that right now.
Neither him nor Osorio. Fuck them both.
Yeah, man. So the national team has secured a few more partidos moleros in September. They're going to be facing Australia over there in Arlington. Then they're going to face Uzbekistan in Atlanta, Georgia on September 12th. And then Ghana in Charlotte in October. And then the big one in Philly against Germany. And from my understanding, these are FIFA-friendly calendar events. So they should be bringing their best of the best.
What a waste.
What a waste.
Yeah.
I think Germany's that's a good one.
Germany's definitely a good one. Germany's one that has actually been in the works for a long time.
After we made them our bitch in 2018 or what?
No. It was because of friendlies. We went over and we played a friend. Where is the Germany one being played again?
This one's in Philly.
Okay, yeah, because the whole deal was Mex went and they played a game in Germany a couple years back, like way the fuck back. And the deal was that Germany would then come to this side to play a game. Well, I guess money has taken over and now it's being played in the U.S. When the original agreement was that it was supposed to be a Germany game in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So that one's been in the work for a while.
Oh, man, I wish Ricardo was here. He's going to have to make a tough decision and decide who's going to root for that one.
I mean, the guy who mentions the Third Reich every time, I'm pretty sure it's Germany.
Yeah, that's
which I will say, it's close to 1,000 years, so they weren't wrong.
Yeah. I mean, if Jimmy's coach, these friendlies should be good opportunity for him to test himself against. I mean, I don't know too much about Uzbekistan, but I think Australia and Ghana are decent rivals. We always play against like Paraguay, Ecuador.
Ghana, I'm actually interested in. Ghana plays a different style. I like it. They're gonna be fast. They're gonna be attacking. So it's gonna be great. Now, Uzbekistan was the other one.
Yep.
Me vale verga.
We probably had secured like Russia or something, but then they got canceled. So then we decided to go for Uzbekistan.
Weren't those the ones? Okay, so I think these games were the ones that were supposed to be played in Europe with like Korea and
Oh, that's
I
right.
think Saudi Arabia. But then what happened was, yes, it is. Then what happened was that, media rights came out and was like, dude, no one's going to watch this.
Mhm.
Like the times that they're going to happen and all of this, it's not going to work out in our favor. Even though we are traveling abroad, getting that experience, doing it that way, it's not going to pay off business wise. So therefore, they canceled those games. And now we have these moleros.
We have Al Pastor joining us. Al Pastor, how fucked was your parlay today? Maybe you can give us some insight on the betting world of these recent League Cup matches.
No, my parlay is not fucked at all. The only thing I bet on was Tigres, and they're playing like cheeks right now. Actually, they're playing a lot better than Monterrey. They just can't finish. But
how quickly do you get paid out when a match is ending?
Right away, like within seconds.
So, do you think people got fucked in that America game?
Probably, because League Cup up on their website, they put that America had moved on.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I've never seen nothing like that. I'm curious to look up the rules. Like, can you like blow the whistle and then like change something, even if VAR tells you like it was off? Because he like clearly blew the whistle, and then the assistant referees were shaking the coach's hands.
No way.
Then they went back and they changed it.
Oh my god.
So yes, he was off. I get that, but can you actually change something after you blew the whistle?
I mean, apparently you can if you're American.
Oh, are we talking about this white privilege?
Rewriting history, man. That's nothing new. That's crazy. That is crazy. I just know that people in the betting world that had maybe America winning that match, they probably got upset.
Well, I mean, it was America's fault, honestly. Like, if you look at the last 50 seconds, they were attacking with 5 guys, and they're up 2-1, and they're attacking with 5 guys. And then they lose the ball, and then that's where the goal comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what are you guys doing, man? You're attacking with 5 guys when there's like a minute left. Like, take it to the corner. Like, be smart about it. I mean, I don't care about America. I was more upset. It reminded me of that Mexico versus Netherlands game. All they had to do was just kill the final minutes. And they were still trying to score and like play hero. Like, why are you trying to be a hero and score another? Be smart about it.
Yeah. It's like always, man. Those tactics. I think those are what prevent us from being, a top 8 country in the World Cup. Just like those little moments of lack of concentration or the ability to not close games out.
Yeah, I agree with
that emotional intelligence.
I agree with that, but again, like I go back to that substitution. Like, why bring on Layun? Like, you're gonna close out the game with Layun? Like, that's just stupid.
Well, I mean, Layun was one of the 5 guys that was attacking. It was him, Kevin Alvarez, Quiñones. I was like, what are you guys doing, man? Should give it to Quiñones and have his ass take it to the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, on that counter
Kevin
attack.
Alvarez and Layun.
Yeah. On that counterattack, we still had like 4 guys defending in the box, but like Israel Reyes didn't step up to cover that cross. He was taking steps backwards, which pissed me off the most. And then Araujo just let the guy just walk right in and header the ball. So it was just shitty defending all around.
Araujo, who was also, if I'm not mistaken, subbed in, right? Like late in the game.
Yeah, he was subbed in to go close out the match too.
Yeah, he was
an extra defender.
Yeah. All these little things. I never understand why a coach makes these substitutions at the end of the game, especially in an elimination match. It's like when a player is hot, they're hot, right? And in these moments, when you bring in someone like off the bench and they're cold and they haven't been in the game, like sometimes it's a detriment, man. Sometimes it ends up burning you, and that's obviously what happened today with America. I understand bringing someone in, like for example, for PKs, like you have a goalkeeper that's better at blocking PKs, then you bring him in at the end of the game and you take out the goalkeeper. But I don't know, dude. It's always a risk when you try to bring in a defender or someone in when the game's about to end. And I don't know. I guess they do it as a tactic to like kill more time, but it ends up burning you, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's, you throw in a central defender. They took off. I think it was either Sendejas or Brian Rodriguez. So it just you throw in a cold defender into the middle of a very hard-fought, hot game, and everything is off balance in the front. You get a cold defender in the back. It never works out.
Man, then speaking of Sendejas, man, all the people are saying, "Oh, we lost him to the U.S. Why didn't we step up?" Man, Sendejas is booty. He's terrible. Like he will not be missed. Sendejas will not even go to the World Cup with the U.S. Like he will. He's like a USC team player. And why Mexican fans thought they were missing out on something, I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when he was at Chivas. And then we really didn't utilize him at all. And then he ends up going. Where does he end up going? He starts scoring goals and stuff. They're trying to rub it in our face.
Necaxa?
I think Necaxa, and then he ends up scoring against us in a Clásico with America. Like obviously that hurts, but yeah, is Zendejas an upgrade over Antuna? Are they at the same level? Like probably. I have yet to see a Mexican American that we've like missed out on that has cost us.
Brandon Vasquez.
I mean, it's cost Chivas for sure. Fucking scored a hat trick against them.
Yeah, but think about Henry Martin as our starting striker. We could have Brandon Vasquez behind him coming up.
I don't know if Brandon Vasquez is national team caliber yet.
But I mean, does Mexico have any young
no one will care about him.
Does Mexico have any young strikers coming up though?
That's a good question.
Like that would be the perfect role for Brandon Vasquez right now in Mexico.
I don't know. Vasquez looks like your typical American striker, just body and physical. Well, Mexico usually relies on someone who has a little bit more of a technique as well.
No, I think that's what Mexico has been missing all these years.
What is just a big tronco?
No, like a big body striker that can hold the ball, that can flick the ball onto the fast wide players.
I guess we had like Raul, right? Raul Jimenez kind of did that.
Yeah, and Henry Martin is somewhat good at that. If he was bigger, he'd be better at it. But Mexico's quality on the wings, you do need that anchor in the middle that Mexico never seems to have.
I don't know, because like look at like Mexico's top scorers, like national team has never been like those type of guys. It's always been like your Borghetti, your Chicharito, who are like running into space, who are looking what to do. And look at Henry Martin and look at Raul. Okay, yeah, you guys hold the ball great, but you're not scoring. Like I want a striker that's gonna like make the opposing defense be a little worried, especially the international.
They do worry them. They hold the ball. They open up space for the speedier guys. Yeah, I mean, they play their role too. It's not just to be the main goal scorer, but to, jalar marca and
yeah,
just
and also missing from Mexico for a very long time. That number 10. It seems like all our skill players are out wide. But the goal is actually in the middle, and we don't have a good center forward, and we don't have that number 10 like Diego Valdez is currently for America.
Yeah, 10s are hard to come by nowadays, man. Those creative types, they just don't. Yeah. They don't develop those kids anymore. I don't know if it's just because of modern football and the amount of structure that is like, demanded nowadays, but. Yeah, you rarely see those players Now all the flashiness is on the wings, really. But someone to like break through the middle. I mean, the only player I can think of that does something like that is like La Chofis, and he's a bum.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, when all our skill is out wide, who are they crossing it to? You need a target man for Tecatito and Chucky to send in a cross to, or have that target man absorb defensive pressure so that Tecatito and Chucky could have open shots.
Yeah, there is a striker crisis at the moment. We're just gonna have to learn how to play with the false nine like some other nations do. I mean, you look at Germany; they had a striker problem. Does Spain have a striker problem? I feel like Spain.
And
yes,
and it's still too early for me on Santi Jimenez. Like, there's potential.
Bro, he's
there.
the best. He's the best false nine there is in the game. He's one of the best.
Yeah, well, there's potential there for Mexico having a good striker, but I still think it's too early. I haven't made up my mind on him yet.
Honestly, I think because here's the thing, man. He creates his own chances.
What? You made up your mind on Brandon Vasquez, but haven't made up your guy in Europe killing goals?
No, I haven't. I said Brandon Vasquez would be a good young striker up and coming for Mexico, but because Mexico doesn't have any young up and coming strikers.
What about De La Rosa?
Who?
De La Rosa?
I haven't seen too much of him.
That's the guy at Pachuca?
Yeah. He keeps getting called up.
He does. I don't know why. I don't really see anything special in him.
Insane, but like if we're talking about young talent coming through, that's gonna be one of the next ones. While we do have a strikers issue, we have to nurture what we have, and unfortunately, this is what we have. Now, like La Bomba said, one of the big things is going after those dual nationality players. I feel like that is becoming the global strategy for every national team. Is targeting dual nationality players.
France does it on a day-to-day basis.
Most of Africa does that too.
Yeah, and they're not crying about naturalizados. They're just winning World Cups.
I mean, pero señor, Mexican xenophobia is so much better.
Like to me, once you have your citizenship, you have all the rights that a natural born citizen has.
Sí, güey, pero estás güerito.
We have Disco Fever, yeah, on YouTube saying, when will Mexico have an actual talented goalkeeper instead of that never was carrot top Televisa bot Ochoa?
Puta madre, güey. I've never agreed more with yeah than in this moment.
What?
Gracias, señor. My hat's off to you. Y no te olvide, a sandwich.
Bimbo.
He's insane, man.
Ochoa in his late 30s is crushing it in Europe, and he's no one in Mexico can even come close to him.
That's a real problem, though. Like Disco says, like we just haven't developed any talented goalkeepers. Like you look at Acevedo, he's not the one. And after that, it's like, what, Malagon? I don't know.
He's not the one.
Malagon took the reins from Ochoa at America, and eventually he'll take the reins from Ochoa at the national team.
No way. He ate up that second goal today against Nashville. That was all him. It wasn't even that out with him. He was just ball watching.
I just miss
doing a watch. Like 28.
I miss a dude like Osvaldo. Maybe he was a great goalkeeper, but more importantly, it was just like the leadership and the character he had. That dude was an authority figure on the pitch, and you don't see players with that anymore. That kind of personality.
Yeah, like you can tell in the current Mexico squad, it's basically Ochoa and Layun kind of hold things down in the locker room, but on field presence, there is no on field like leadership.
Used to be Guardado. I think when he was the captain, he kind of took that leadership role.
Yeah.
As of right now, can't really think of anyone. It's Ochoa.
Everyone's soft now.
Yeah.
Nah, but I mean, like, it's because, like, just think about it. Like, back in the day, it's like, like in the locker room and everything, you had to, like, you couldn't even change with the first team. If you were a rookie, even if you got called up, like, you couldn't even sit with them. Like, you had to earn your way up. And now it's like, no, everybody has to be a teammate. Everybody has to be nice. Same thing with the national team. Like, you remember a Chicharito, like, 2018 World Cup? Like, he'd be going off on them. He'd, like, be, like, doing his little speeches. And if you look at the body language, no one was really paying attention to him. When he was, like, with his whole, like, imaginemos cosas chingonas and all that, you can tell everybody was like, okay, dude, so, like, what's your point?
It's like, you're just on coke. Just shut up, dude.
Yeah, it's just the younger generation, man. It's like, even like it happens at clubs. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Rooney. He said, like, he came out to, after they lost, and like Lingard and all these guys were like dancing and doing like videos, like TikToks or whatever. And he's like, that would have never happened back in the day. Back in the day, you lose, bro, the whole week is like somebody died. And these guys, like, literally, they lose, and 30 minutes later, it's like
they're on streaming playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, so I mean, I just think it's not a Mexico thing. It's just a worldwide thing. Everyone's just becoming softer, I guess.
David Fikesen said, yeah, America should be complaining about their incapacity to control the last seconds of a game. Instead of, like, blaming the referee, like, blame themselves.
Yeah, they were responsible for that. I mean, you could tell the ref.
We lost you there, buddy.
Jaime, do me a favor. Under that same tweet, can you check if anyone has told him that this is why he gets punched in the fucking face?
I'm looking for it.
I'm looking for it.
I'll go put that tweet without replaying his comments if nobody has.
I haven't seen it. Usually it's the first one.
Oh, ponlo, wait, ponlo. You know what? This is the Cantina MX one.
Oh, someone.
Pero te meto un chingazo en la boca.
Man, he's talking so much shit. I love it.
Fuck, man. That's just wild, dude. That just feels so dirty. That's like,
I know, right?
Hey, yo, I've been on the metro all day. I haven't washed my hands, but I'm still gonna finger pop you.
Yeah, this is crazy. I don't know, man. Leagues Cup. I think we all got bamboozled. We were promised one thing. I think we had expectations of it going a certain way. And in the end, it's been a whole. It's like January 6th. What was that that day where, like, everyone stormed the Capitol? I think that's what happened.
Yep.
Peaceful protest. Fuck that, dude. We're gonna take their cheeks.
But have we not all been watching?
It's like a train wreck, man. You just can't keep your eyes off it.
That's it, man. Like, look, I'll be honest. I haven't been watching the MLS versus MLS matches. Me valen verga.
Yeah.
Right? But every single time it's a Liga MX game, I'm tuning in. I'm in there. I'm watching it. Like, puta madre, güey. Vi el de Querétaro. ¿Cuándo ves un pinche juego de Querétaro?
Maybe the
Like,
Ronaldinho days. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
I did watch those.
I've only watched America games.
Yeah.
And same thing for Liga MX. Like, for the past 2-3 years now for Liga MX, I just watch America games. It's like I've come to realize that's all I really care about. Like, even screw the selección.
Shh, man.
One of us. One of us.
I'll miss a selección game, but I won't miss an America game.
Yeah, dude. I honestly felt that way after the World Cup for sure. I was just like, you know what? I'm just sticking to supporting my club. Right now, unfortunately, we are forced to watch this tournament because Liga MX is put on pause. And they're not even letting the teams that are eliminated play against each other. It's like this is a joke, man. It's like we have nothing else to watch. We're forced to watch this shit.
But you get training sessions. You get coaching. Like, your team can tighten up or lose bolts. And that was one of my things with, like, está bueno, ¿sabes qué? Si perdemos la Leagues Cup, güey, tienes 3 semanas para trabajar con el equipo completo.
Well, not anymore because your coach is gone.
You know what? Fuck you too.
Eres un estúpido.
It's like double whammy, Cruz Azul. You shoot yourself on the foot again.
Dude, I said it. Like, the call is coming from inside the house.
No, but I take your point. Like, Chivas has had probably the best time right now to prepare for Liga MX.
Johnny, I keep telling this to my Chi hermanos, and they don't want to believe it, man.
Super Líder Chivas are going to be well prepared for Liga MX.
I don't buy that. I think like if you go without game rhythm, it affects you.
Oh, dude, think of the training montage in Rocky V. Right, Pau has them up there in the mountain, running up and.
Chivas made the Liga MX final, so they had the shortest vacation anyway. So they actually could benefit from that.
Yeah, see? And yeah, that's been one thing that has affected teams in the past that make the final and they'll say campeonitis and shit like that, but that's part of it too, where they have the least amount of time to recover.
Although by that standard, Xolos should win the league. They've had the most vacation out of any team.
One thing
I don't know. I'm here watching Tigres, and they had a short vacation too, and they're doing well.
One thing I want to say is, if this was an audition or like a trial run to see what a potential super league between Liga MX and MLS would look like, they have failed miserably. I don't think anyone's bought into this idea that we should join forces, at least the way things have been going.
I don't think this is a trial run to see how the teams would do. It's more to see how they would and show the games.
Okay. Yeah, like
what
this
is it? 47 teams.
Yeah, but I mean, in an eventual tournament, Max are obviously gonna want to have games at home and not just be playing them here all the time.
Look, it has.
I'm talking about Super League. Combined league.
I have Ron joining us right now. One thing I want to say before I kick it off to him is, it's failed on many different ways. Number one, like the logistics of it, right? You've had teams been straight out in the airports. Number two, it's just like they've shown that they are incompetent when it comes to officiating, right? And number three is just like the demand is just not there, right? You've seen some of these matches and the stadiums are fucking empty. Not all of them, right? Obviously, all the Messi games have been sold out. And right now, the game in Houston between Monterrey and Rayados looks like it's sold out. But for the most part, those other games, they have not been the best. The ratings came out, and dude, none of these games have hit 1 million views yet. So Apple's not going to release their numbers, but the ones that have been passed on, Fox and TUDN and Unimas and Univision, like they have been abysmal. So again, if this was like a whole trial run for a Super League, the evidence is there, man. We're not ready for it yet, and we should not join forces. But I'll kick it over to Ron, who's been fuming. Ron, we found out after the fact that America got eliminated. We thought they had been through after they had celebrated. So we found out here what had happened. Holy shit, man. I've never seen anything like that.
Well, I have with Santos in Copa Libertadores in the 2004 Copa Libertadores.
I thought you were going to say Morelia, Ron. I thought you were going to say
I mean, I remember, like, and I'm not a Santos fan, but I was pissed how Conmebol did Santos dirty against River Plate in 2004, and then there was another one I want to say, I don't remember if it was Cruz Azul or Pumas, but they also got screwed over by Santos. I think, if I'm not mistaken, when Neymar was there. Uh, but I mean, I thought that America had won, and then I had basically, I had muted the screen, and then I was watching on the other screen. I was watching uh, Tigres in Monterrey, and then a friend texts me. He's like, hey, America, hasn't won yet. I'm like, what? I switched over, and then like 5 minutes pass by, and they're talking like, I think they're going to call redo the PK. I think they're going to redo the PK. And then obviously they did and stuff like that. And obviously, pissed off that America lost. And more than anything, the reason I'm pissed off is how it was handled, the time it took, but more than anything, it's the inconsistency of how they've applied that rule. Now, I've tried to basically take still images and obviously looking at still images from other people on Twitter and stuff like that, and there's really not an image that I can see that would definitively to see if the goalkeeper for America's foot was completely off the line. There is one image that kind of looks it, but you can't really tell because it's not a side view. But let's assume that his rear foot was let's say a millimeter past the line, which by the letter of the law it's illegal, right? Okay, let's say I concede that. That still doesn't negate the fact that they've applied this. The penalty is horrible to me because there's been other games where the keeper, his momentum's forward before the point of contact, and nothing happens. I just think that this is a shit show, and more than anything, the fact that we have, if we were really going to be anal about this, honestly, I don't want it to be that anal because I don't want every penalty kick to where they're going to use VAR for this. I accept that the keeper may move, a centimeter, within reason past that line. I can accept that. Whether I'm on the winning side or the losing side, I can accept it because honestly, I don't want it to be that methodical, But it's just the whole officiating throughout the whole tournament is what really has pissed me off, And honestly, I know that Liga MX president, he's bent over. He's bent over for MLS. And I made a comment earlier in one of my Twitter, comments that every time Liga MX or the Mexican Federation concede advantages, they get fucked. And it doesn't matter. I mean, in 82, in 74, when Liga or the Federation conceded to CONCACAF to have the World Cup qualifiers in a single host country, Mexico didn't go to the World Cup. So it just really pisses me off that that we have a history of conceding for the almighty dollar. And we get fucked over.
Ron, as we speak, Tigres got a controversial penalty called against them, and Monterrey is about to take it in the 95th minute of this match. So this could settle the game right now.
Hold on, let me put it on.
Controversial penalty kick call. The referee went to VAR, and he even gave Pizarro a yellow card because he kept trying to look over his shoulder and look at the replay himself.
A ver si Nahuel Guzmán se saca un pito de la boca.
Nahuel Guzmán, who had some magic tricks the other day in the PK shootout, he took out some string out of his mouth, and he did the whole miming. So we'll see what he does right now.
All right, I'm watching.
He took off his
Honestly,
gloves. He's taking his sweet
I
time.
want Monterrey to win. I'm sorry. I want Tigres to win. I don't think that Monterrey has it. I don't think they have the depth to win it.
What I do agree with you, as far as like, look, whether the goalkeeper stepped off the line or not, like that's fine. But the fact that this has not been enforced, and there's been so many games that have gone to PKs, and they haven't enforced it once. And why would you do it right now? Out of all things,
You've seen cases where the keeper clearly moves, and you've also seen cases where there's like because where they invade the penalty box before the point of contact, and then they don't do it. Now again, like I said, I'm okay with bending the rule, the letter of the law just a little bit, within reason. I get that, people. I mean, I'm okay with that. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care if I'm on the losing end or on the winning end. I can accept that the keeper may move. We're not talking like Brianna Scurry type. The keeper for the U.S. girl, the U.S. women's when they won the World Cup in was it '99 when they beat China in penalties and she like literally fucking took like 4 or 5 steps. I mean, I can understand that, but when we're talking about an inch here, come on. Just don't fucking bust me. Don't bust me. Damn it!
Monterrey score.
You bitch! Your feet is ahead. Damn it!
Sergio Canales, the new new midfielder from Betis, who has joined Rayados, has scored the winning goal for them, and it looks like they'll be advancing against LAFC, who's up 3-0 against Salt Lake.
Where are they playing this again? This game?
This game's in Houston.
That was a very well taken PK.
Yeah.
¿Sabes por qué? Porque llegó en un barco.
Los mexicanos salieron del maíz.
It was this Monterrey Inter final.
See, I saw that Johnny Rico made a comment about like you talking shit about his peak, whatever. Honestly, those are the PKs that I like. Whether they make it or not, they take a good stride and they just kick the shit out of the ball, whether it's to the left, to the right. I think that's the way to go about it because honestly, ultimately at the end of the day, you also have a keeper that's trying to block it. And I just thought, personally, I thought he kicked the ball well.
You do that if you have the skills to. Like for example, Osvaldo Martinez, he would run from damn near midfield and just blast the shit out of the ball.
Like Cuauhtemoc Blanco.
I was literally saying like Cuauhtemoc.
And also,
in his career, I think he only had like 3 or 4 PKs, and he obviously took a shitload of them.
Yeah,
but I understand. I like personally, it's just it's a preference. I like when I don't like all this bunny hopping bullshit and stuff like that, or these financials. And if you make it, hell, you're a badass. But if you miss it, you're a piece of shit, and you need to be called out that shit. And honestly, when he missed it, I'm like, bro, it's like in baseball. You hit the sweet spot of the baseball, a beautiful line drive, but unfortunately, it goes. Someone catches it. And so it is what it is.
The whole stutter step or trying to, trick the goalkeeper, high risk, low reward, man. Because obviously, if you put it away. But if you miss, you look like a donkey.
Have you not seen the best in the game, aka Antuna? Los pinches penales que toma ese güey. ¡Mua!
He tried
Los
to be
mejores
Raúl
que has
Jiménez.
visto.
Antuna tried to be Raúl Jiménez so much, and he failed miserably.
I mean, honestly, I I was even pissed off when Chivas lost, in those PKs, and that was just like when Antuca took that penalty, I was livid, and I'm thinking, why am I pissed? I hate this team, but honestly,
Porque son
it more than
pendejadas, güey. Porque son mamadas, and you're like, bro, you should have done this at the academy level.
I used to get fucking aneurysm when Pulido would take our PKs, man. That dude did some of the gayest fucking PKs I've ever seen in my life.
It's true. It's true.
And then you guys had oh shit, Nahuel Guzman's out of the goalkeeping box. Oh, and they almost scored again, dude. They went for a corner kick, sent the goalkeeper up, and he almost got caught with his pants down. Yeah. And Tigres are down a man. Anquino, he got a red sent off.
Straight red? Was it straight red? I wasn't even paying attention.
No. Second yellow.
Yeah.
Second yellow.
Second
Okay.
yellow. Yeah.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I do like the way Tigres put on their championship patch, just on the bottom.
What is it, like a star?
It's the shield of Liga MX champions.
Oh, okay.
Uy, va a haber putazos.
Is that a new thing?
Yeah, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. You're a little ahead of me. I want to see the people.
Is adding that patch a new thing?
It's been happening for the last couple years.
Oh, here we go.
Atlas rocked it. And the fans are throwing water bottles. Oh my God. This is exactly what we needed. This is what Leagues Cup was supposed to be.
It's happening, so.
This is
putazo.
If I'm Monterrey, dude, I do the 1983 Club America strategy of getting, when they got eliminated by Chivas, they basically, that famous, the famous fight, everybody against everybody, and next Chivas basically went to the final against Puebla with it's like 9 guys, red carded and unable to play the final. That's high IQ, Fuck it, if you're gonna beat me and you're gonna go to the final, I'm not gonna let you play the final with your full team.
But man, that America team was full of guerreros. Alfredo Tena, Capitan Furia.
To this, to date, that team, that America team that lost the semifinals to Chivas is still the best team, that never won the title. The amount of points, goals, and stuff like that, I mean, that shit's still that's
¿Qué pedo?
Those records.
Ni lo terminaron.
Game is over. Rayados through.
Yeah. The 90s America were also one of the best teams to never win it.
Yeah, you're right.
Métele un putazo.
And man, they got Mekis. They're lucky that lucky Monterrey lost their striker, man, because they look scary.
I know, man. They lost their striker to a turf injury. That's what you get for wearing normal cleats on a turf field. I've learned that lesson the hard way. You do not wear normal grass cleats on artificial turf, because where the grass would normally pull, you just get caught on turf, man.
What is that? Literally what happened to him? He's wearing regular cleats?
He was wearing regular cleats. His ankle got fucked up. And like nobody wears turf shoes unless you're like the home team that's used to playing on that pitch.
Yeah, 6 months he's gonna be out.
Has to go through surgery.
I was seeing the replay of Pato Guzman here, like walking the line. That guy's a trip.
All right, boys. I'm gonna say good night. Thank you for
Yeah,
letting
Johnny,
me
thanks
vent
for hopping on
my
tonight.
anger.
Anytime, Yoni.
Good talking to you, bud.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Yep, likewise, man.
No
Good night, bud.
sirve para nada.
Oh
I
man,
think Monterrey. I think Monterrey will make the final, and it'll be Monterrey versus Messi's team.
I'm glad
I
Rayados
think.
won. We've seen
Honestly,
the
I don't.
LAFC Tigres matchup too many times. It's time for Rayados to push their shit in.
I think they want LA. I think they want LAFC and Miami.
Miami.
Yeah, I think that's what they want.
Yeah, that's a good. I'm not
My
gonna lie, that's a good draw.
my
Like
Why
question
not
is,
I would watch
Monterrey,
that.
Ron? Ron, why not
What?
Monterrey? I mean, it's League's Cup. Wouldn't you want
Look,
the rivalry, the U.S. makes rivalry thrown in there?
here's the thing. Conventional wisdom would say that you want America. You want the teams that can attract and fill up the stands. That's conventional wisdom. I get that. Okay. But at this point I mean I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to basically artificially create a rivalry, you know, and if they have to forego a little bit of the Mexican attendance, the Mexican fan attendance, so be it. Because I mean at this point, I mean if what like Jesus Martinez, president of Grupo Pachuca, and then some of other folks in, like, for example, on Picante and Fox Deportes talking about the pay structure, where it's not even a good business for Liga MX right now. I mean, you have to think of, well, if we're paying peanuts, who gives a shit? But like I said, I'm just really disappointed. I'm really, really disappointed that Liga MX basically conceded this conceded advantages. And right now, just the whole of Mexican soccer, the entire ecosystem, they don't have the luxury to concede advantages. The league is shit right now. The national team is shit. Even the youth teams are shit right now. At this point, you just gotta keep grinding, keep working, and not and whatever little advantage you may or may not have, you fucking hold on, with dear life.
LAFC just scored a fourth goal. It looks like it's going to be Rayados versus LAFC on either Friday or Saturday, and I think LA would probably host. I don't really know what they do in the case of this, where it's like the Tigres Rayados game was quote unquote on neutral grounds out in Houston, which I thought was interesting.
So the way that it works is if it is a if I'm correct, it is if it's an MLS team, they always get home.
I see. MLS versus Liga MX, MLS gets the home advantage. Liga MX versus Liga MX, neutral ground. And then if it's MLS versus MLS, it's like whoever had the higher seed in the table or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
well,
if we're gonna put in the fix, I think LAFC versus Miami is kind of what it's gonna be.
So
I think that's what they want.
Monterrey looks too good, man. I think Monterrey's gonna put it.
Sí, güey, pero ¿qué pasó con el Americano? Like, if they're gonna fuck you over, they're gonna fuck you over.
Yeah, but America messed up on their end too towards like the end of the game, and then America, like, they're good on offense, but their defense is pretty shaky too, and it showed in Liguilla also.
You're right, and America does have to do a little soul searching, because they played better, and they should have played a little smarter. towards the end, time management. There were a couple times where they should have gone. They should have just, keep possession, hold the ball, and not, and keep the lines a little bit more compact. And honestly, like that last play that ended up, equalizing in the last minute in stoppage time. I mean, I was basically like screaming at the screen. And it's like, telling him to commit a tactical foul. Don't let the ball go, that far into the field. And as soon as it did, I knew that America was basically fucked. It's like, God damn it, So it's not all it's not all on the ref, but the officiating has been just spectacularly bad all around.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and this is not. I mean, this is just not me. No lo digo yo, Y quede bien claro. That's an inside. That's an inside joke with us. So yeah. I mean, that's just been spectacularly bad. The way they've applied VAR and this and that. So, but other than that, just in general, the league, the teams need to learn how to play a little smarter towards the end. Sometimes when they need to, I don't agree with defending, for 30 minutes or even 20 minutes, to holding a lead,
It's just closing out games, man. It's been our character flaw forever.
It is. I mean, to a certain degree, you're right, Jaime. That's why I've always been like of the La Puentista school of being balanced. You attack when you need to attack, you defend when you need to defend, and you recuperate when you need to recoup. And you're right. That's that time management. It's been our Achilles heel. I mean, just going back for example, the 27, the 07 Copa Sudamericana final against Arsenal de Sarandí. We had that in the bag. Fucking America fucked it up in the last, in the dying, minutes of the game, Fucking.
Disco Fever, yeah, says CONCACAF got what they wanted. They took out the biggest threat to Messi, which was Tigres. I disagree, Disco. I think Monterrey have more firepower to get it done. And it's official. LAFC beats Real Salt Lake 4-0. So the quarterfinals are as listed. LAFC versus Monterrey. And Nashville versus Minnesota. You have Miami versus Charlotte. And Philadelphia versus Querétaro. So the possibilities of a Rayados Querétaro final is not... Hey, it's still a possibility. It's not out of the question yet. But, boys, we have it stacked against us. There's only 2 Liga MX teams remaining.
Let's be honest, guys. There's only 1 team remaining.
Don't count out Rayados. Oh. Don't count out Querétaro, man. I think everyone's been...
Nah, bro. I think Querétaro's going to pull it. I think they're going to be the dark horse. All right, pero también soy gasolino y echo la sal, so cuídate.
I just think it's hilarious that like last year everybody and their grandma wanted Querétaro to be banned from Liga MX after that incident. And now everyone's like on Querétaro's nuts because they're doing better than expected.
I would say let's not mix the two together. Don't get me wrong. What they've done in Liga MX is atrocious, not only of what happened, but also because of the fact that they haven't been playing their players.
Oh, man, wow. Are we just taking the Denmark approach?
I mean, they play like shit in the league. Their games are not attractive to watch from a neutral perspective. It's like a terrible club that shouldn't exist. But all of a sudden, they decide to turn up during Leagues Cup. Like, that'd be the first team that I would expect to like lose all their games on purpose just to go back home and chill. So I don't even know what's going on with them.
Very interesting. They just released the schedule for the quarterfinals. One thing that caught my attention is the match between LAFC and Monterrey. It will be at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
Yep. Yeah, there was talks about moving the if that was the game, just because of the capacity that they can fill in there.
What a
Jaime, what day is that?
What a bunch of whores. It's at 7:30 p.m. on Friday, August 11th.
Oh, man.
Are you guys going to catch that, you, Jaime, or Juan?
Damn, on such short notice.
See, dude.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's hard for a short notice. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough one. If it would have been Saturday, I probably would be able to go, but Friday afternoon, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to cover the Philly one either.
Yeah, Philly versus Querétaro. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern at Subaru Park. Inter Miami versus Charlotte at Fort Lauderdale. And Nashville versus Minnesota over there in Tennessee. The semifinals are scheduled for Tuesday, August 15th. And the final and third place match will be on Saturday, August 19th. So the good thing is the closer we get to wrapping this tournament up, the closer we are for Liga MX's return. And I can tell you I'm over it. I just want Liga MX to go back to normal. Chivas are undefeated with 3 games out of 3. We'll see if they get back in rhythm for that. But that's not going to happen for another 2 weeks.
Question came in late. Did you guys talk about the rumors about the Lamborghini?
We did talk about it. How do you feel about it?
I don't understand. Why they're waiting this long. Just give it to Jimmy.
Yeah.
Because here's my take. Like, you remember the scene in the movie Moneyball?
Which one?
When the movie Moneyball with Brad Pitt and
no, yeah, but what scene?
the scene where the Oakland A's manager, I forget his name. I forget his name in real life. I think he also even coached the Astros or played with the Astros. Shit, I forget. But anyhow, long story short, where he's talking to Brad Pitt, and he's talking about how, the fact that they haven't extended his contract and stuff like that.
Oh,
it just makes it feel like, you're not being valued. And for me, it seems like the longer they keep, not naming Jimmy, it's like Jimmy's, maybe getting that sensation where they're trying to find every other coach under the sun before they just give him, before they tell him, okay, we weren't able to find anybody, so here's your team.
Yo,
it's like, what?
That's true.
It's like, fuck you, either you want me now or you don't. Let me move on.
Yeah, that is true. The more you delay this, the more embarrassing it is for Jimmy, right? Because it really does feel like he's getting the benefit of the doubt, but they're still interviewing people,
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and obviously we won't have this insider information, but if as long as you're upfront, as long as you're honest, if Jimmy feels like he's being treated fairly and honestly, and said, okay, Jimmy, you knew from the get-go that this was going to be, you didn't have the position full time, and that we gave you the Gold Cup, as a trial, but we're going to see if we're going to go with somebody else. If you can accept those terms, and you still want to be in contention, okay. I mean, if he accepted those terms and he was okay with it, I'm all for it. Okay, but I don't think that's the case, knowing how the FMF operates, and I personally do feel that he's getting that Oakland A managed that treatment from like the Moneyball scene,
mm-hmm.
where they're just delaying it, and basically it's like a show of no confidence. And if that's the case, Jimmy should just go pound sand. Gentlemen, it's late in my neck. I'm in the East Coast. Good talking to you guys, and let's pray to the Liga MX gods that they can pull through.
Yeah, Ron, thanks for hopping on. Sorry about what happened with America. I came into this podcast thinking that they had gotten through, and then found out about the heel turn. But
Yep.
yeah, we'll catch you later. We should be wrapping up this pretty soon, anyways. But pretty crazy what's been happening today in Leagues Cup action. A lot of drama sells, but not in this way. Not like this.
Yeah, bro. I'm looking forward to what Mexico's like the talking points on the Mexican media are gonna be.
Oh, I know.
They're
Spicy
gonna be
soccer.
Because let's be honest, güey. Han estado mamando la MLS por un chingo. Y ahora,
will they change their narrative? After they got.
You know
fucked?
what, man? I really like Fox Deportes.
Oh yeah.
Like they got good points on there, and it's not as much mame as Spicy Soccer.
Punto Final, yeah.
I don't know, man.
Punto Final, Radio Fox.
FIFA is happy seeing the Leagues Cup right now because they're gonna have the World Club Cup here. So when they see that, Dallas usually sells their home tickets for $40, and then Messi shows up to play, and the cheapest one is like $240, and that's like box office. I think FIFA's like, oh yeah, we're bringing all these European teams. It's gonna be an official tournament. We know what cities to go to where it doesn't matter if it's Mexicans or Americans, where the money's at. They're going to make a killing. You might not even see the Club World Cup move outside of places like the U.S. because what benefits the U.S. is all this diversity, all these different cultures. So you're going to have a lot of demand for lots of teams. So on the Gold Cup, you're like Guatemala and El Salvador selling out the stadiums. So same thing, you bring teams from Argentina, Spain, whatever. All those people have populations here that's just going to make the Club World Cup crazy amount of money. Because I don't remember you guys seeing games before when they would host them in Japan and shit. If it was America or Chivas or whoever playing against the Asian or African opponent, that stadium would be empty. It would be half empty. And that's not going to happen here. It's going to be a fucking cash cow for them.
I've always slept on the Club World Cup literally because it was always in the middle of the night, games at 2, 3 in the morning, and they were hosted in, like you mentioned, Japan or in Saudi Arabia or Qatar, wherever the fuck they've been hosting those Club World Cup games. They just have not been attractive. And I'm looking forward to it being held here in the States. I know for a while they put it on pause because it just wasn't worth the trip, right? You were guaranteed one game. And if you lost that game, you were sent back home. And then they did this whole well, we got to, play for 5th place or some shit. It was just a pointless tournament. And now they're going to expand it and it's going to be held here in the States. And, we're having 3 consecutive summers here in the States with international football. We had Leagues Cup this year. We're going to have Copa America next year. And then Club World Cup after that, and then it's going to be the World Cup. So, yeah, a lot of international football that's going to be done here in the States. And we'll see if it picks up steam, I think a lot of casuals have tuned in to Messi, but I don't think any of them are sticking around if he gets eliminated or they've had enough curiosity to check out the other matches. Honestly, I think a lot of these people are just watching Messi and cutting that stream off as soon as he gets subs off or the game ends.
No, but at the same time, even with that, still exposure because there's one guy from Dallas, Velasco, I think he's from Argentina. He played well against Miami, and then after that game, his Instagram followers went up by 8,000, and it was just, I guess it was other Argentinos watching him play, and they're like, wow, this guy's good. He's in the MLS, he's not bad. Maybe he can become something. So, regardless, that Messi whole thing, it gives you that exposure that as a player as well, a young player, you're facing Messi, you have a great game, and a lot of eyes on you. Might open the door for Europe or whatever. So, I would also look at the positives about it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the frustrations I had with Liga MX teams not even trying, right? There was going to be a lot of eyeballs. With Cruz Azul, talk about Messi's debut. Cruz Azul had a chance to go up 3-4-0 in that first half. So, there was a lot of opportunities missed, I think, for Liga MX teams just to show them their best product, right? And to actually try to win these games. But a lot of these players, they came in just for vacation, bro. Hey, we're gonna be in America for a couple of weeks. Let's go shopping. Let's check out the streets. Oh yeah, by the way, we got these games, but they don't really matter. If we lose now, we get to go back to Mexico and get 3 weeks off. So let's do that instead.
And the one thing is, even at that point, Cruz Azul was able to neutralize Messi. He had one goal from a free kick. The rest of the time, they were able to get after him, shut him down, and they did it right.
To be fair, it was his first game also. You can tell like he's slowly getting used to it. That Taylor guy that plays with him, that blonde hair kid, that guy looks like, his Neymar, like his Suarez. Like, I've never heard of that kid in my life, and now he's all of a sudden like Messi's Robin. So
it's so crazy how easy it is for Messi to just win a game. Like, he doesn't even try, man. He's probably at like 50% power right now. And he's fucking winning these games like they're nothing. It's just, the level of intensity and competition is not even close to someone that's been playing at the highest level their entire career. It's like taking a professional fighter and then saying, all right, you get to go to like kindergarten and beat people up. You're like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Yeah, it's pretty bad. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark, guys. Just want to give you guys the opportunity to have your closing thoughts, and then we can wrap up episode 395.
Closing thought for me. Interesting to see what will happen, what Ahmed will say about this, if they say anything at all, and just how it will be handled. I do think they have a case, but I'm also surprised they agreed to take the kick.
I agree. Very curious to see what the narrative is within the media in Mexico, how America handles it, if they will have a statement, and if the president of Liga MX will say something about it either, because I'm sure this ruffled a lot of feathers tonight.
Yo, we just have to see what Atlas is saying. Has anyone checked their Twitter lately?
Why Atlas?
No mames, güey, ¿no te acuerdas lo que hicieron hace unos cuantos días?
No, I have a goldfish memory.
I have a goldfish memory about them
quoting... the Nazi thing?
The Nazi thing.
Shit, bro, that was like a month ago, man. I don't even know how long ago that was.
Well, they've been quite... They got all too hushed. They've been in quiet time ever since.
Yeah, very curious to hear how things are dealt with tomorrow. I'm sure it's not going to be pleasant. Abdias, what you got for us, man?
All right, gentlemen. Well, my closing thoughts is I hate the fucking short-mindedness of Liga MX. I've been saying this before, and I'll say it again. We need to move to a long tournament format. Can't keep doing these little short ones where every game is way too crucial. It doesn't work, right? You want something short? You want a quick little hand job? Cool. Bring me back fucking Copa MX, right? Let's do these things. And then, honestly, I was all for this Leagues Cup, right? I've been championing it. I've been talking about it. I want to see what it grows into. But you know what, man? I'm not going to keep getting fist fucked and saying thank you. That's not what I'm here for. And we'll see what happens. There has to be an appeal, bro. And you know what? I'm not even going to say from Club America. It has to be from FMF. Liga MX needs to do something to apply that type of pressure. Porque no mames, güey, son jaladas. It's worse than what they did to them in Libertadores. And this isn't a Libertadores style play.
I know.
Because I don't think they would have as many U.S. teams if they had to go into fucking Toluca Do you understand how much of a fortress Toluca is? Going into El Azteca con América, going into fucking El BBVA in Monterrey, like going into those hostile environments, they can't play. Having the fans outside of your hotel room singing and chanting until 3 in the morning to make sure that you don't get any sleep. Like, that's what this game needs.
We'll see, man. There's too much of a cash grab with Liguilla, and the short-sightedness. It's another character flaw in Mexico, man. It's one of those things. It's like we're so focused on the money and what's good for me now, instead of like taking the time to have a well thought out project and create something that's going to be beneficial in the long term for not just the league but the Mexican national team. And I don't think that'll ever change. I think there's just too much pig-headedness. I think there's just too much greediness and too much corruption for us to think that way, or for things to go in that direction. But we shall see.
And it's sad. It is
sad.
Because that's what's always going to keep us behind. That short-mindedness, that unwillingness to sacrifice.
It's a tough one, man. There's times where it's like, why even care about sports, man? It's like, what do we get out of it? It's like there's so much emotional, pain. But here we are every other day, every week, supporting our clubs, man. That's just what we do. Al Pastor, what you got for me, man? After seeing this, are you still going to be betting on Leagues Cup?
Yes, I mean, I've been doing well so far, but just Tigres today, I had to butcher it up. But no, I mean, honestly, as far as like everything, dude, honestly, I think you guys included, I think a bunch of you guys are just exaggerating. I think están mamando for real. Like, you guys are like David Faitelson right now tweeting that MLS has caught up to Liga MX and that Liga MX is stagnated and everything. Look, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Out of 90 minutes, like matches that lasted 90 minutes, Liga MX won 16, MLS won 15. Now, when they went to extra time, like the penalties, yeah, MLS dominated. There was 12 matches that won up penalties, and MLS's record is 8-4. But to come out and say that, oh, MLS is dominating, I'm like, what are you guys expecting? It's 18 teams versus 28 teams. The bottom third of your teams, like Liga MX, is probably at the same level as the bottom half of their teams, or they're probably even worse. But like I said it before in the chat, so MLS starts dominating Champions League, where it's not like that one MLS team has won Champions League in the last 30 years, where they consistently win it, where like this year, like LAFC wins it, and Inter Miami wins it, and then whatever Nashville wins it. Once it starts becoming dominant, then yes, like go say MLS is superior. MLS has caught up to Liga MX. Like Liga MX is in the mud. But honestly, like I don't know what everyone's like expecting. It's a tournament here in the U.S. where the advantages are to the team that's playing at home. Like look at Monterrey. Monterrey played out in what, Portland? Then they flew 18,000 miles to play in Houston. Now they're going to go play against LAFC with majority LAFC fans. And if they win that game, then they got to go fly 18,000 miles. You got to play in Nashville with majority Nashville fans. And then if you make the final, then you got to play Messi and like everything that comes as far as the benefits of Miami have. Like, what are you guys expecting? Are you expecting like all the Liga MX teams just to go undefeated? Like, come on, like look at the reality of the situation. That's why I say the real thing, the real showing is Champions League, because you got home and away. You got like look what happened. Leon played LAFC before Messi arrived. That was the best team of MLS. And sixth place Leon, who got knocked out of Liguilla by Tigres, they dominated them. They smoked them at home, like completely dominated them.
Mm-hmm.
And they dominated them in Los Angeles. And you know what people say? Oh, well, it's not fair because LAFC, they were playing a game like every 3 days. That's why. Oh, but now all these advantages that MLS has, they're fair all of a sudden. So no, man. Like to me, and honestly, I like looking at the bright side. I'm very upset that Chivas didn't go far in this tournament because to
Same.
me, I saw this like as a perfect warm up for Liguilla. Like you're visiting games, like you're playing against all these stadiums. Traveling, like it puts you in the mindset of Liguilla. So even look at America. Even though America lost today, same thing. Tigres lost today. When they go back home to Liga MX, having that fresh, like breath of playing at home with their fans and everything, I guarantee you it's gonna make their home stadiums a fortress. Like it's like it's gonna be like, wow, it's good to be back home. Like let's turn up with our people for our people. And that's what pissed me off about Chivas. I was like, wow, like if you're gonna do this against an MLS in the US, like you can handle some travel. What are you gonna do in Liguilla? Are you gonna shit the bed at Azteca? Are you gonna shit the bed there? Like this was a perfect warm up for that. Like, but yeah, once MLS starts dominating Champions League, then let's talk about it. But right now, the numbers show that Liga MX won more games that were normal 90 minutes than MLS, as far as like when they faced each other directly. And yeah, they won in penalties. They dominated more in penalties, but that's always a coin flip. I just don't think it's to the point that everyone's exaggerating. Like Diaz was saying, yeah, Liga MX, corruptos, short-minded. I get that. I agree. But as far as like from the competitive edge, it's not as bad as people are making it seem. If anything, the numbers back up Liga MX. Liga MX against MLS, they had a winning percentage as the away team of like 45%. MLS teams that go away against each other, they have a winning percentage of like 27%. That's telling you that Liga MX teams are playing better as the away team against MLS competition than MLS teams themselves. So yeah, I think David Faitelson, Mauricio Padrosa, all these guys are like on MLS's nuts. They're like just stupid, and they're gonna look stupid when Champions League comes around, and there's gonna be another Mexican team that wins it.
What's part of selling the tournament?
It's ratings. It's all that stuff.
Yeah, you have to create a narrative for them.
No, and I
to have
get
something
that,
to
but
talk
the
about.
fact that like fans are buying it up, I'm like, just look at the numbers.
Oh yeah.
Like just look past what they're saying. They're just giving you clickbait. They're generating drama, but it's like Mexican fans are like, "Holy shit, man, we're screwed!" Like the U.S. has finally caught up to us. Like we're inferior to them. Like, oh my goodness, they have Messi now. They're gonna get Neymar. Like we were never gonna be able to be like them. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like the top, like America, Monterrey, Tigres. You give them home and away, and you have them play 10 MLS teams. They'll probably win 80% of those keys, like those brackets. If they have play home and away, they'll probably win 80% of them. Because that's how it is. Because the benefit that Liga MX has is no salary cap. Like, look at Monterrey Tigres lineup today per MLS rules. There would have been like 20 designated players on that field. Now, that is one thing that has made MLS better compared to Liga MX, that most of its teams are more balanced out because of the salary cap. It doesn't let majority of teams become powerhouses. They're more balanced out. As opposed with Liga MX, you got like your three rich teams and everybody else is kind of like whatever, Depends what kind of season you have. But I don't think it's that bad. I mean, the numbers show that it's not that bad. Mexico has had better numbers than MLS in this tournament. And based on all the travel and everything that comes with it, I think it's great. The results are not bad.
And yeah, it is set up to give the MLS teams the advantage as much as possible. My only thing I would say is they probably don't want, or they're worried that if the MX team were to wash, it would cheapen the league. It would end up looking pretty bad, and it would be harder to market it. So it's sort of like they forced the MX to go in with one hand tied behind their back.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think right now all the MLS fans are kind of just riding the coattails of this tournament, and they have that inferiority complex, man. They're looking for validation. They've been looking for it for the last 30 years, and now they get to rub it in our face. And unfortunately, like everyone's kind of falling for it. But at the end of the day, this is not an accurate measurement of how these two leagues rank up. Once you go back and look at, Champions League, yeah, we'll see how it goes next season. And having a home and away leg is obviously more fair than this tournament. And again, like I mentioned earlier, if this is an audition, if this is a trial run for a potential Super League in the future, they're doing a really bad job. I understand that this is the first time they're doing something like this. They're going to learn from it. They'll probably make adjustments next season or next year. But as of right now, if you're trying to sell this idea of joining forces for the greater good, this was a terrible experiment. But there's still plenty to play out in the quarterfinals that kick off on Friday. We'll have semis on Tuesday, and then the final on the 19th. So stay tuned, folks. We'll have another episode before all that. And thank you guys for your support tonight. Love the chat. Love the emotions. Look, we love this sport, man. So make sure to follow us on Twitter, on YouTube, on IG for our updates and when our next broadcast will be. But for now, hope everyone has a wonderful night. And of course, we'll catch you all in the next one. Good night. All right, YouTube stream. That's going to do it for tonight. A lot of emotions. Honestly, blown away that the fact that America got their penalty kicked overturned, had to redo it, and then got eliminated by Nashville. That's a tough one to swallow. Never seen that done in a professional game before. So really just don't really have no. How do you come back from that? That's nuts. This tournament feels like it's favoring one league in particular, and they're not even being quiet about it. They're not even being subtle about it. It is awful to see that go down. We'll see if more drama unfolds. Tomorrow, will they have an official statement again about it? Will they reverse the call? I mean, who knows? All right, everyone.